Chapter 2. A few days later, Elena comes home excited. "What have you got there?" I ask, pointing to the small parcel in her hand. "Oh, just a little something," she whispers and gestures for me to do the same. "Is it a surprise for me?" "No, not really." "Elena, my feline curiosity is killing me. Please be merciful and tell me what's in the parcel." "Very well, but you must promise you won't tell Gato Hamen. By the way, where is he?" My lips are sealed. He's in his usual spot, the library. "I'll show you what I bought. Just let me take off my coat." Her coat is a dark blue velvet, and she's wearing bright red gloves and matching red ankle boots. Besides being able to talk and walk like a man, I can see all the colors and shades of color humans do. I'm happy I can fully enjoy Elena's pretty outfits and her beautiful chestnut hair. After she removes her gloves, her booties, and then her coat, she's finally ready to show me what's in the small parcel. Well, not really. "Where are my slippers?" "The last time I saw them, they were in the library. Alexander dragged them in there." I can tell she's debating with herself whether to look for them. "Can't you do without them?" "I guess I'll have to." "Are you sure you're ready now?" "Of course. Come into the kitchen. I'll make the two of us chocolate milk." Another of Bastet's gifts to me, for which I'm especially grateful, is the ability to enjoy human food and drink with no ill effects. In the kitchen, Elena puts the object of my curiosity on the table and proceeds to make chocolate milk. Seeming to move in slow motion, she takes the milk carton out of the fridge, the glasses out of the cabinet, and a spoon out of the cutlery drawer. From another cabinet, she takes the bottle of liquid chocolate, lifts the cap from the top of the bottle, and squeezes the chocolate into the two glasses. After adding the milk, she stirs the contents, then takes both glasses over to the table, and at last we sit. She takes a sip from her glass. I empty mine in a few gulps. I love chocolate milk. Then, like two conspirators, we move our chairs close together so we can talk normally instead of whispering. Elena opens the parcel and removes a small tattered old cardboard box. There's a human figure painted on top and lettering in bold capitals. "The Rider Tarot Deck," I say aloud. Bastet also saw to it that I could read, but I can't make out the words and dates printed on the sides of the box because they're too faded. "What's inside?" Elena opens the box and takes out a small stack of rectangular cards that look like playing cards. "Playing cards? This is the big secret?" "Lower your voice, Rappahamen. These are the 22 Major Arcana tarot cards." "What's the difference?" "With these, I'll be able to tell the future." I look at her incredulously. "Well, they say one can." "Who are they?" "Oh, Rappahamen, you can be exasperating sometimes. People who have been reading the tarot cards for centuries, that's who." I nod to make her think I understand. "There are different versions," she says, "but all tarot packs are based on the same principles, and all tarot packs have 78 cards. Besides the 22 cards called the Major Arcana, there are 14 cards for each suit. They're called the Lesser Arcana. I bought our pack in a thrift shop. It's used and missing the Lesser Arcana, but I don't care. It's the Major Arcana cards that contain symbols and secrets from ancient cultures." "How do you read them?" "I don't know." Sometimes Elena drives me to despair. "What good are they if you don't know how to read them?" I ask her, trying to keep cool. "I'm going to study the book." "What book?" "The one that explains how to read the tarot cards, of course." "Of course." "Where's the book?" I ask, knowing it's a mistake. "I haven't bought it yet." "Why not?" "The bookstore was out of it. I had to order it." Now we're getting somewhere. "How long will that take?" "A week." This is the kind of thing the High Priest would do. I've been hoping Elena would rub off on him, not the other way around. "Do you mean to tell me you've put me through this for nothing? That we have to wait a whole week to know the future?" "Shh, not so loud. I don't want Gato Hamen to hear." "Why?" "I want to surprise him with a reading. It'll give him a kick." The High Priest will certainly be surprised by Elena's card reading, but I'd like to give him a kick of my own, for all the times, claiming he has to study, He's neglected to help me with household chores or with changing the little pharaoh's diapers. May I look at the cards? I ask. Oh, yes, let's look. She spreads the tarot cards on the table. Each looks like a small painting with a title below and a number on top. The sun is number 19, the moon number 18, the emperor number 4. Elena! It's the high priest calling from the hall. In a blink of an eye, she gathers the cards, makes them disappear into the little box, then gets up and hides it in one of the kitchen cabinets. We're in here, she says in her most innocent-sounding voice. The high priest comes into the kitchen and plants a kiss on her forehead. Thank the gods I'm spared such displays of affection from him. A pat on the head is more than enough for me. I leave them to it and go upstairs to see if the little pharaoh has woken up from his afternoon nap. When I want time to go slow, it goes fast. And when I want it to go fast, it goes slow. Patience is not one of my virtues, and I dread waiting an entire week for Elena to get the book. But the week is not uneventful. One day she goes to see if there's anything in the mailbox. The high priest and I are alone in the library, sitting on the couch, when she starts to scream at the top of her lungs. We're off the couch in a flash. The book the high priest has been reading falls on my head, and Elena's scream and mine become one. She bursts into the library waving a magazine. It's Egyptian Antiquities with my article! Elena is a freelance writer and publishes many articles. She sometimes complains she gets paid very little for her work, but she says the house is paid for, and the small inheritance her father left her is enough to get by on, so there's no need to worry. This article must be the one on ancient Egyptian art. The high priest helps by giving her the benefit of his first-hand experience. Congratulations, my dear, he says, giving her a hug. But why did you not tell me that it had been accepted for publication? I wanted to surprise you, she says, returning the hug. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Thank you, Gato Hammon. Don't be silly, Elena. My input was tiny. The high priest is particularly obnoxious when he pretends to be modest. I stand upright and pull on Elena's skirt to remind her that I'm here too. Puss in Boat, I was so excited I didn't see you, she says, bending down and kissing the top of my head. I melt. Congratulations. Thank you, Rapa Hammon. I'm going to make us a special dinner to celebrate. Are you going to help me prepare it? I think of all the tasting I can do while helping her. You need to ask? One afternoon near the end of the week, Elena comes home with the tarot book. I thought she'd share it with me as her fellow conspirator, but instead, she locks herself in the bedroom. Only one thing to do, lie in front of the door, and when she comes out, give her a piece of my mind. Half an hour goes by, then another. Nothing. I'm bored. 2 hours later, I fall asleep. When I wake up, I find the bedroom door open. I look inside, but Elena and the tarot book are nowhere to be found. I go to my bedroom to see if she's in there with the little pharaoh. He's sleeping, but no Elena. I hear the unmistakable noise of cutlery. She's in the kitchen. Is the high priest there as well? I run down to the library and open the door, but only an inch. The high priest is asleep, stretched out on the couch with a book on his lap. The coast is clear for me to confront the traitor. I run to the kitchen, where Elena is sitting at the table about to take a bite of sandwich. Not only hasn't she shared the book with me, but she's made a snack all for herself. Elena! You made me jump out of my skin. That's only what you deserve, seeing how you've treated me. What are you blabbing about? Why didn't you share the tarot book with me? Well, I wanted to read it first by myself so, I could experiment on you. Who's babbling now? Experiment? On me? What do you mean? Oh, Rapa Hammon, you can be so dense sometimes. I'll do my first reading for you, to get the hang of it. An inner voice tells me to say no, but my curiosity has a louder voice. When? I ask before I know it. Now, if you like. But first, let's make sure it's safe. Let's check on Gato Hammon. No need. He's fast asleep. So tell me, where are the tarot cards? Right in my pocket. And the book? Elena opens the table drawer and takes it out. Before we start, let's create an atmosphere. Close the Venetian blinds. I go to the windows and pull the cords. That's better. Now come and sit, facing me, she orders, looking very serious. My heart is beating fast as I watch her shuffle the cards. After a minute or so, she puts the deck in front of me. Cut. I know what that means. In the evening, the three of us sometimes play a card game. Cut 3 times. When I oblige, Elena picks up the deck, takes a card from the top, and, keeping it face down, lays it on the table while mumbling to herself. She repeats this 4 more times, always mumbling, till a cross is formed. Then she picks another card and places it outside the cross to the right. She's just about to turn the first card over when we hear the little pharaoh begin to cry. We look at each other. One of us has to see to him. I'll go, Elena says, getting up and placing the book on her chair. At the door, she turns around and whispers, If you hear a whistle, it's a signal it's me coming back. But if you hear any other noise, make the cards and the book disappear. When she leaves, I struggle with the temptation to peek at the cards. 1 minute goes by, then another. To pass time, I give my belly a few licks, scratch behind my ears, lick between the digits of my paws, then hum. Too impatient to wait any longer, I decide to go upstairs to see what's keeping Elena, but bump into something large and solid in the doorway.
Did I scare you?
Says the high priest, yawning. I came in to make myself a cup of coffee. He sees the cards on the table. What have you been doing? Taking me by surprise, I'm at a loss for words to lie with. What's the matter with you? Cat got your tongue? Finally, I'm able to think of a fib. I was playing solitaire. Oh, I love solitaire. Let me see. I realize I've chosen the wrong fib, but there's nothing I can do about it now. The high priest sits in Elena's place. Have you finished playing? Yes. Before I can tell him not to, he picks up the tarot deck and rifles through it. They are unusual, these cards, different from the ones we play with. Do you mind if I take a closer look at them? Unusual? What an understatement. And yes, I do mind. Why is it so dark in here? Open the Venetian blinds. What can I do but obey? When I go back to the table, I find the high priest open-mouthed and looking bewildered. Are you all right? No answer, just heavy breathing. I am speechless, he says finally. Very unusual for him. It must be a sign he's terribly upset. Unfortunately, he regains the capacity for speech within seconds. I cannot believe this. Where in the name of Tote have these cards come from? What sacrilege has been committed here? I swallow. They're just cards. Just cards? They might look like just cards, but they contain ancient secret knowledge. In the Egyptian temples, figures resembling these were painted on the walls of hidden halls through which only the adepts were allowed to pass. The wall paintings were copied onto tablets and were used to read a man's future. Elena did say the cards have a long tradition. Elena is behind this? I've done it. I've betrayed my accomplice. I could say I've let the cat out of the bag, but the metaphor would be confusing. Where did Elena get these cards? The high priest asks angrily. Then, pointing to the ones turned face down and arranged in the shape of a cross, he adds, And why is she consulting them? She bought them in a thrift shop because she wanted to read me my future. Oh, sacrilege of sacrileges! That's it. I've had enough. What's the big deal, I'd like to know? Oh, you ignoramus of a cat. The door of destiny has been pushed open. He closes his eyes and brings a hand to his forehead. When the high priest does that, it's serious. It's best not to interrupt him by trying to reason with him, but to let him play out his drama to the end. It might take a long time, so I might just as well sit down. After a few minutes, he opens his eyes, puts both hands on the table and leans forward. There is nothing for it. He shakes his head in disbelief and sighs profusely. Once the door is open, we must enter. We must read the cards Elena has placed here. What did she say? She placed the cards face down in the form of a cross. I don't know. She was mumbling. Would that be important? Oh, ignoramus cat. In our ancient time, when a priest consulted the tablets to read a man's future, and this was allowed only in special circumstances. The position of each tablet had a meaning, and the arrangement determined the sequence in which the cards were read. I'm beginning to understand. Finally! And now we must wait for your accomplice before I can make heads or tail out of this arrangement. We don't need to wait for my accomplice, Elena. You can use the book. Book? You mean she was following instructions in a book? Yes, and you're sitting on it. He puts a hand under himself, then, cursing, produces the book and begins to flip through it. Here it is, under card spread, he says after a minute. He reads, taking his time, and nods, as if agreeing. Now that I understand the meaning of this arrangement, I can read the cards properly. He closes the book and brings his fist down on it. Let us get to work. He points to the card forming the bottom of the cross. This card stands for your past and its influence on your present. He turns it over. It's numbered 0 and called the Fool. It's a picture of a young man with a small dog at his heels. Unwittingly, for his nose is in the air, he's about to step over a precipice. You mean I was a fool in the past? Does the 0 mean I'm a failure? The high priest sighs heavily. Ignoramus cat. The image should not be interpreted simplistically, and an obvious interpretation is seldom the right one. A reading is primarily the result of the diviner's intuition. He must become one with each tablet, and I cannot do that if you keep interrupting. So be a good cat and promise to be quiet. I'm sorry, I say, then add reluctantly, I promise to be quiet. He clears his throat, then speaks in a loud voice, stressing every syllable. Rapa Hamen, you are unique. A cat who has been given the ability to speak and walk like a man. You are about to embark on a journey, and who you are will determine where you go. I remain silent. The high priest turns over the card forming the left arm of the cross. It's number 9, the Hermit. A bearded old man wearing a cloak and carrying a staff in one hand and a lantern in the other. This card stands for the obstacles you will encounter. Time will be against you. Again, I remain silent. Next, he turns over the card forming the right arm of the cross. Number 8, Strength. There's a picture of a woman holding the mouth of a lion closed with her bare hands. This card stands for the influences in your favor. You have a strong character. That quality will see you through the demands to be made of you. Then, closing his eyes, he recites, I am 1 that transforms into 2. I am 2 that transforms into 4. I am 4 that transforms into 8. After this, I am 1. As much as I would like to ask questions, I keep my promise and remain quiet. The high priest opens his eyes and looks at me intensely. Your old self you will shed to become him again, and yet new. He turns over the card forming the top of the cross. Number 2, the high priestess. It shows a woman dressed in veils, sitting on a throne set between 2 pillars, and holding a book in her left hand. In the near future, you will meet a high priestess. This time I can't stop myself. You've just told me the obvious interpretation is never the right one. No, I did not. I said it was seldom the right one. Now, be quiet and do not interrupt again. You will meet a high priestess, and she will reveal secrets to you. When he gives no further explanation, I ask, What secrets? I have no idea. Did I not tell you to be quiet? He says as he turns over the middle card. It's number 6, the Lovers. An angel with outspread wings hovers over a naked man and woman. The high priest sighs, grunts, and shakes his head. But how can such a lovely image represent something bad? Maybe he's upset because it's upside down, so I put it right side up. Ignoramus cat, he yells. What in the name of the gods do you think you are doing? An inverted card is read differently than if it were right side up. If he calls me ignoramus cat one more time, he returns the card to its original position. I try to look contrite and wait for him to interpret the card. Impatiently, I may add. The secrets you learn from the High Priestess will, in your distant future, bring you face to face with an evil force, he says, slamming his fists on the table. A choice, Rapahamen. A painful choice will be asked of you. Why did I let Elena convince me to have a tarot reading? Why didn't I listen to the inner voice that told me to be wary? You know why, I say to myself. It's because you're a damn curious beast. As if my thoughts have summoned her, Elena makes her entrance, holding the little pharaoh in her arms. I heard everything. I was outside listening, but didn't have the courage to come in. She joins us at the table, the little pharaoh in her lap. Oh, Elena, why? The high priest says, looking across at her and shaking his head. But we must continue. Let us look at the final card. It's the one placed outside the cross. It stands for the final outcome and its effect on Rapahamen, she says proudly. A dirty look from the high priest warns her not to say anything more. Just as he reaches to turn the card, the little pharaoh leans forward from Elena's lap, grabs the card, and returns it to the deck, knocking the deck onto the floor in the process. The cross is still there, but the crucial card is gone. The little pharaoh looks down at the mess he's made, turns to me, and smiles. The high priest kneels on the floor to gather the cards and, when he gets up, adds the 5 cards lying on the table and neatens the deck to a tight pack, which he clutches angrily. I am confiscating these and the book. As he leaves the kitchen, he turns around to give us a look of utter contempt. When he's gone, Elena starts on me. Well, you gave me up right away. Do you think I should have told him I fabricated the cards and the book out of thin air? My sarcasm is lost on her. You could have tried. I don't see what you're so upset about. I'm the one who will come face to face with an evil force. Before I brought home the tarot cards and the book, you didn't know any part of your future. That's exactly my point. I was ignorant and happy. No reply? Usually Elena wants to have the last word. She's thinking. Here it comes. Ingrate. In a huff, she pulls the little pharaoh to her chest, gets up from the table, and turns her back to me. As she walks out of the kitchen, the pharaoh sticks his head up over her shoulder and waves goodbye. I wave back. While reflecting on all that's happened, I make myself my favorite sandwich. Bologna on white bread with mustard. Thank you, Bastet, I say as I take a bite.